All right, so how do you resource your worship team? I'm telling you, I said this in the other video, this can be one of the biggest sources of stress on a worship team. I've met hundreds of worship team members whose biggest stress is not knowing where they need to be and definitely not knowing what they need to plan, prepare, or play. Sometimes they just want to know what the songs are gonna be. Now, when we think about resourcing our team, we need to think about what we want from them. I have a value on my worship team that says, I wanna make everything as easy as possible for my volunteers. I want it to be a joy for them to be on my team. Remember, they're giving up their time to serve, so I wanna make sure they can worship through this service rather than being at a job with a bad boss. And to make this easy, there's only really two things they need from you. They need to know when they are scheduled and they need to know what they are playing. Now, when it comes to scheduling, here's a couple things to remember. Number one, schedule them in advance. A rhythm I like to do is I aim to schedule my team at least 2 months in advance. That way I can schedule the set list 1 month in advance. And sometimes, depending on who the team is, actually impacts my song selection, because if they can't play a particular song, then I won't plan it for that week. But I won't know that unless I've scheduled far enough in advance that I know who's gonna be serving on a particular week. Number two is use a scheduling software. I use Planning Center, as I know a lot of people do. I'm actually planning on doing a Planning Center mini course. So if you're interested in that, click the link below. I didn't want to turn this course into a whole Planning Center course, even though I work a lot on Planning Center. I know some people don't use Planning Center, but if you do, let me know down below. Another feature I really love about Planning Center is that they have block out dates. Now what this is it allows each team member to go in there and block out dates. If they're gonna be on vacation or they're serving somewhere else in the church, it won't let me schedule them. But the point is you need to use some sort of software, even if it's just a Google Doc, so that you can see who is going to be playing at least 2 months in advance. All right, so that's the first thing your team needs from you. They need to know when they're gonna be playing. The second thing is they need to know what they're gonna be playing. And I made this simple too. There's only 2 things they actually need. And you can download the Resource Your Team checklist, but there are 2 things that they need at a minimum, and that is a correct chord chart and an MP3 in the correct key. A correct chord chart and an MP3 in the correct key. Now, as far as chord charts, there are a lot of places you can get chord charts. You can make your own, you can purchase them, and there are some places that you can get them for free. I wanted to show you because oftentimes we're on a budget. So right here are a couple websites that I usually like to check out to see if a free chord chart is already there and available. Right here, it's called worshipchords.com. You click on the song you want, and there are the chords right there, and you can actually transpose and everything you need to right there. And I would just copy and paste this into my Planning Center lyrics and chords, which is where I like to build my own chord charts. And I have many reasons why that I will cover in that mini course. The second place I like to look is Worship Together. You have to sign in. They have a lot of songs on here, but they don't have all the songs on here. So they have this version of it. Another thing I really love about Worship Together is they have this free Chord Pro download. If you don't know what Chord Pro is, it's the lyrics and the chords with the chords baked into it. So you could copy and paste this and have the chords be on top of the lyrics like that, or you can download the free Chord Pro. You can see how the chords are baked into the words. That way the chords are right where they need to be, and you're not worrying about scooting them over if you change the font of your chord chart. And then I would highlight this, copy it, and put it into my Planning Center chord builder. And then of course you can purchase chord charts from Praise Charts. I love Praise Charts because they have all these different lists, like top songs of all time, top songs this year. This is our God, boom, chords and lyrics. And you can purchase them. It's $2.79 for a chord chart. So that saves you a lot of time. One of the things I don't prefer is downloading PDFs and uploading PDFs, because you would need to upload 12 for every single key. I don't like doing that. I get into that with the Planning Center course. I think some of these are editable. Some of them will be editable, so you can I think there's a version where you can download the Chord Pro. CCLI does the same thing. If you have a Song Select subscription, there are often Chord Pro with those chord charts as well. Thank you, Jesus, for the blood. You got the lyrics, the chords, the lead sheet, and the vocal sheet. And then right here on download, you can download the Chord Pro. There it is. Another place you can go if you're looking for new ways to do hymns is reawakenhymns.com. He has backing tracks and chord charts and everything on there as well. The important thing is just make sure that you're double checking the chords, because because no matter, even if they're paid, a lot of times the chords won't be right. It's almost like a game, like, can I spot where the wrong chord is going to be? It's usually wrong. So if you make your own, you can always go back in and fix it, and it's already updated in Planning Center if that's what you use. But either way, just check and make sure that the chords are correct. Make sure it's a legal MP3. I like to download mine from iTunes, but you can get yours from wherever you download MP3s, and then you can upload it from there. To get it in the correct key, you can use programs like Ableton to transpose, or Planning Center has a transpose feature built in. Again, if you want to learn how to do that, let me know. All right, so those are the two main things, but what other resources could they need? I use Ableton with a click and cues. You know, it says verse 2, 3, and it has the MP3 in there, a practice track. I actually export a practice track and upload it to Planning Center so they can not only play along with the MP3 in the correct key, but they can also play along to the practice track so they can get used to those cues. I also like to, if I feel like it's needed, upload some YouTube tutorial videos. Like if a bass player is really needing to learn how to do a part, or an electric guitar player keys, there's a bunch of tutorial videos out there. Just make sure that you don't use YouTube as the main way that you're getting them the music. That's why I stress getting them an MP3, because oftentimes YouTube links get broken or taken down, especially with music. All right, like I said, if you want to go deeper into Planning Center, please let me know. I would love to put together a mini course if I feel like the need is there. Now that we've resourced our teams, we need to get some killer rehearsals. So let's go to the next video.